Welcome to our channel Modern Family Wisdom that offers well-researched, science-backed solutions to day-to-day family issues.
So, you landed an interview. Congratulations. Now comes the part where your brain immediately asks the most stressful question in human history. What do I wear? And for some reason, it asks that before, what job is this again? Or, why do I want to work here? Because here's the thing. Interview clothes are silent but loud. They don't talk, but they definitely speak. And in 2025, 2026, that language has evolved into something surprisingly strategic. Let's start with the biggest trend in modern work culture. Companies have officially broken up with the old formal versus casual binary. It's over. Done. The cool new kid is called power casual, which basically means look professional, but don't dress like you're auditioning for a courtroom drama. Think soft sweaters with structure, blazers that stretch, chinos that don't require a tailor and a prayer, and fabrics that are friendly to both your skin and your anxiety levels. Why this shift? Because comfort has become a form of intelligence. There's evidence that when you're comfortable and well-fitted, you think clearer and seem more approachable. A suit that feels like a medieval armor plate doesn't scream confidence. It screams, I haven't fully expanded my lungs in 90 minutes. But before you go full yoga wear diplomacy, let's talk strategy. The number one rule of interview dressing is the one-step-up rule. Dress one level more formal than the place you're trying to join. If the whole office wears jeans, you wear chinos. If they wear chinos, you wear smart trousers and a blazer. If they wear full suits, well, you stay at suits. There's nowhere to go above that unless you show up in Supreme Court cosplay. Now, the one-step rule changes shape depending on industry cultures. Corporate, finance, law, these are the traditionalists. Navy suits, charcoal suits, black suits. For men, that means crisp shirts, conservative ties, polished shoes. For women, tailored pantsuits or dresses with structure and closed-toe shoes that look capable of negotiating mergers and stepping over office politics without wobbling. Tech, on the other hand, is allergic to anything that feels pretentious. If you walk into a startup wearing a three-piece suit, there's a 50% chance someone will ask if you're lost or selling insurance. The winning strategy here is refined casual. Chinos, dark denim without distressing, button-downs or sleek knit tops, and minimalist sneakers that look curated, not chaotic. That applies to both men and women. Tech is generally gender-neutral when it comes to style, as long as it isn't sloppy. Creative fields, media, design, fashion, play a different game altogether. Here, what you wear is part of your portfolio. Color is allowed, accessories are allowed, personality is allowed. Showing up in beige from head to toe is basically whispering, I am safe but also slightly afraid of color. A green suit, textured fabrics, interesting jewelry, these are actually signals that you can think in bold lines. Now let's talk gender-neutral tailoring, because it's one of the biggest shifts of 2026. Suits have become fluid. The lines between men's suits and women's suits are dissolving, replaced by tailoring that prioritizes performance, wrinkle-resistant fabrics, stretch panels, moisture-wicking linings, and cuts that move with you. The future is comfortable and inclusive, pretty much the opposite of whatever suits were doing to people in the 1980s. Then there's the secret sauce, color psychology. It's real, and hiring managers swear by it, even if they pretend they don't. Here's the translation. Blue is the world champion of interview colors. It signals trust, stability, and competence. Navy, in particular, says, you can give me responsibility and I won't set anything on fire. Gray says you're analytical and thoughtful, kind of the color equivalent of saying, I fix problems without announcing how stressed I am. Black says power, authority, leadership. Great if you're going for senior roles. For junior roles, full black can sometimes come off as aspiring supervillain or mysteriously intense person in the corner. Use strategically. White is clean, precise, crisp. A great base layer, but a terrible zoom main character, because cameras like to blast white into blinding oblivion. Red is passion, ambition, competition. Use in accents, ties, scarves, small accessories. Unless your interview involves motivational speaking or stage performance, avoid full red dominance. It can be a visual jump scare. Orange is universally hated for interviews. Employers associate it with unseriousness. Save it for brunch. Brown is dependable but can feel old school in fast-moving fields. In creative or heritage industries, it can actually work. Context matters. Speaking of Zoom, virtual interviews bring a whole different arena of clothing strategy. Cameras hate stripes, checks, micro patterns, and shiny fabrics. These create weird moire effects where your shirt starts visually vibrating like early 2000s sci-fi CGI. Solid colors, matte fabrics, and contrast against your background make you look intentional instead of glitchy. Lighting matters too. Three-point lighting sounds technical, but really just means one light to illuminate your face, one to soften shadows, and one behind you for depth. Without depth lighting, you look like a passport photo. With it, you look like a professional who understands the modern world. Camera framing, eye level, slight elevation, head near top third of the frame. If the interviewer is staring up at you from below, they're getting an angle that should be reserved for toddlers looking up at tall adults. And audio, this one's fun. AirPods might be stylish, but Bluetooth microphones often make you sound like you're broadcasting from inside a submarine made of aluminum foil. Wired earbuds with inline mics are boring but reliable. The goal is to sound competent, not cinematic. Now, one of the biggest status signals in wardrobe is fit. Fit is the difference between looking sharp and looking like you borrowed your clothes from a stranger at the bus stop. Shoulders must line up. Sleeves must hit the wrist. Trousers should break once above the shoe, not pool like fabric soup. Blouses and dress tops shouldn't pull or gape. Skirts typically hit the knee because short can read party and long can read religious ceremony. Neutral is the winning zone. Cost isn't the barrier people think it is. Tailoring is the hack. A $15 thrift store blazer plus tailoring outperforms a $300 off-the-rack blazer that fits like a tarp. Young professionals often start at brands like Express or Southern Tide. Mid-level candidates lean towards Suit Supply, Indochino, Charles Tyrwhitt, but again, fit beats brand. Seasons matter too. Summer interviews require breathable fabrics, cotton linen blends, tropical wool. Linen alone wrinkles aggressively and makes you look like you conducted your interview inside a suitcase. In winter, thermal layers under wool suits keep you warm without puffing you up like an interview-ready parka. Final polish. Nails clean, hair intentional, fragrance minimal to non-existent. Closed-toe shoes always. Smart watches off because if your watch lights up during the interview, it looks like you're getting stock alerts mid-sentence. Tattoos and piercings vary by industry. Creative fields tend to celebrate them. Finance tends to pretend they don't exist. When in doubt, conceal. And before picking any outfit, research the culture. Stalking a company's LinkedIn photos is not creepy, it's tactical. If everyone in their event photos looks like they just walked out of a Patagonia store, don't show up like a Wall Street intern. And yes, you can just ask HR about dress code. That's allowed. They're humans. They answer emails. The goal of all this isn't to impress, it's to remove distractions. If your outfit is correct, nobody thinks about it, and that's perfect, because then they can actually focus on you, your competence, your ideas, and whether they want to see your face in their Slack channels every day for the next 3 years. Attire doesn't get you the job, but it does get you out of your own way, and in a competitive market, that's worth a wardrobe strategy.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Visit again